Hello and welcome to another Crypto Insider interview. And this time we have a very special guest with a very special proposition. And this is John Carvalho. You might know him as the Bitcoin error log. And he actually made a challenge to Roger Ver, and we're going to find out more about it right now. So, hello, John.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, not as well as you are doing right now, but my force is once again.
She say so. Yeah, I had this idea in my head for actually a long time where I was like, the best way to diffuse Roger is to get Bitcoin.com from him. Kind of like I know what he really wants is our Bitcoin, even though I think that's a waste of time. Um, and I got the idea in my head of that one day I would just challenge him to a fight, and I would try to make this the stakes. But I don't really know what stakes I can put up that are as valuable as Bitcoin.com, but I would love to see him lose Bitcoin.com. So I did my interview recently with Peter McCormick on What Bitcoin Did podcast, and we were talking about it afterwards after he released it, and he said he was going to be interviewing Roger Ver again. And he was like, I don't know what to ask him. I don't, we've already covered everything, and I kind of just want to see what he has to say about the new Bitcoin Cash forks. And I said, look, if you want to make it interesting, tell him that I want to fight him, and I will fight him for Bitcoin.com, and that'll make your interview interesting. So he did it. And Roger, I haven't heard the interview yet. I don't think he's released it yet, but apparently Roger is interested. Um, Roger does have a habit of kind of getting out of bets. So we'll see if anything actually happens. But we just before this interview right now, we put it out to crypto Twitter to see what people have to say for what they think we should do for a format that's fair, because he's like a brown belt in jiu-jitsu and I am not any kind of qualified fighter in any way, but I'll fucking train with the bears of Romania if I have to take Bitcoin.com from
Oh, I
him.
can tell you that we have very powerful bears, and
Yeah.
it's not like you have nobody to train with or no kind of strong bear on your side. But this is a pretty chivalresque cause. You made it sound as it's some kind of duel. You know
Yeah.
that you are the only one who actually was able to stand up to him and tell him all these facts about Bitcoin Cash when it was a time when a lot of people didn't have maybe the guts to have that kind of debate with him and challenge his views about what Bitcoin should be. And now
Mm.
you want to get Bitcoin.com from him. So, what if you actually get it? And let's say that's a miracle. You actually get Bitcoin.com. What's going to happen with it?
Oh, I don't know. I've barely begun to think about that. I think the first thing I would do is probably just redirect it to like bitcoin.org or something like this. But I would use it for the benefit of Bitcoin. I'm not interested in, exploiting it in any special way, even though it's an extremely valuable domain. But my main interest would definitely be in seeing it be the tool that everybody wishes it would be. Something that was for onboarding people and educating people about Bitcoin, the real Bitcoin.
Okay, that's really ambitious. And to be honest, I never thought about it. When you distinguish the layers or the different parts of the community, you think that Bitcoin.com belongs by default to Roger Ver, and the R slash BTC belongs to the Bitcoin Cash side of the debate. And it gets complicated and confusing. And I guess my view on it was that this wouldn't happen up to the point when Bitcoin Cash would fail or Bitcoin would fail. Either one of the options would reach that point where it's no longer successful on the market. And that's when the domains and the places can merge. But up until that point, it's really courageous of you to think about this and actually make him accept the challenge for the domain. I guess it'll also be useful for somebody to take the Reddit, the subreddit for our BTC. And I guess there are also channels which sound misleading for the audiences or maybe for the noobs who get into the space later. Do you still
Yeah,
think?
that's the whole thing. Is I just don't want people to be misled anymore. the situation even with our BTC is ridiculous, right? Because BTC is the ticker for Bitcoin proper, and he's doing BCH, and but he's holding tightly onto BTC and making it, and it's all about Bitcoin Cash. So it would be nice to figure out a way to just get everything where it belongs. I don't know if this fight will do it or if this fight will even happen for sure, but it would be pretty cool. I was talking to some people about what I could possibly put up for stake because I can't think of anything worth as much as Bitcoin.com. Certainly nothing I own. But you know, I'm open to ideas. I'm open to whatever creativity people have about this. I even was talking to my new company I'm working with, Bitrefill, and they said, "Look, man, we'll implement Bitcoin Cash. We'll do, you know, we'll figure out whatever it takes to be able to help make this happen." I was thinking maybe I could ask Thamos to put up our Bitcoin as stake on my side because I know Roger really wants that, but I don't really know Thamos, and I don't really, you know, I don't own it, so. But yeah, I want to see. I'm interested to see what people on Twitter have for ideas. Maybe we just end up arm wrestling or playing tic tac toe. Who knows? But I'm certainly going to try to get as much fun out of this as possible, if not the actual domain.
There is actually this old expression which says eye for eye and tooth for tooth. So if he gives you a domain, you should give him a domain. So if he puts bitcoin.com on the line, you can put exotica.com on the line.
Well, it's exotica.tv, but I mean, obviously, it's not worth the same. I'm not going to pretend and say that it's anywhere near as valuable. I just don't think he'll be interested in that. But you know, if I have to start piling multiple things on to get the stake to be right, if he's really willing to put it up at stake, like I said, I'll whatever I can that makes it a fair deal. Whatever I can offer, I will, and whatever we can do to make the fight fair, I will do that as well.
So what kind of challenge do you think would make you in a position where you're the one with the advantage? What kind of challenge do you actually prefer to win bitcoin.com?
I don't know. I mean, an intellectual one, I guess. But this is more about a fight. I think you know, obviously, the one that he's going to prefer is an actual, you know, fair fight jujitsu match because he's a brown belt. I have no experience in any kind of martial arts, but if that's what it takes, I'll do that too, man. I'll find a jujitsu trainer. I'll train for 6 months, a year, whatever it takes for me to feel like I might actually have a chance. I don't care. I'll do.
The, I don't know. This is crazy on your side. If you want to fight him physically, I think that's a bad idea. I think you might be bigger than he is. You're like 6'2" or something, and he
Yeah, yeah.
weighs more. I met you in person. That's how I know. And I've seen Roger Veer next to Vitalik, and Vitalik, I know that he's pretty tall. So I guess if it was a boxing match, you would have the advantage. But in
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu,
maybe
where
we should do a boxing match then.
yeah, it
But
makes
either way, if it's any kind of real physical challenge, real physical fight, I'm gonna have to train. I mean, you know, I work on a computer. I'm not like some kind of gym dude. But I'm willing. I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to train hard if that's what it takes.
I can just imagine how this is going to go on websites like vice.com, and they're going to present the crazy Bitcoiners who fight
Yeah.
for bitcoin.com.
People like coming to the fight in Doge suits and stuff.
This is crazy when you think about it, but it's a good cause within our community. So
Actually, now that you mention it, it's not just a good. It's a good educational publicity for this actual problem. How Bitcoin.com isn't the real Bitcoin website as well. Even if nothing comes of this, even if we don't fight, at least people will keep talking about and all be on the understanding of why I even want this domain.
that's actually smart. And the fact that he responded to this challenge and he's willing, at least in this early phase, to put something on the line or pretend that he is interested in challenging you. That's interesting. It would be
Mhm.
boring if this was a game of chess or maybe some game on Satoshi Dice, the best out of three, whoever wins.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what he'll end up agreeing to. I have a feeling he won't agree to anything really in the end, but you know, I think I was surprised that he even accepted this initial challenge because I thought he would pussy out.
Pussy out, those are big words. And I guess I would
Yeah.
like to hear his
Well, I
side.
gotta start my shit talking game, you know?
Oh yeah, I've seen it in boxing, and I
I've
know
already started enlisting some hype men, gonna appoint a Don King.
you're from which state from the United States?
Massachusetts near Boston.
Do you have any great boxers who came out of Massachusetts?
I have no idea. But Southie in Boston is where all the Irish bare knuckle boxing takes place. So maybe I can find some friends there. We can do a bare
Okay.
knuckle boxing match, just actual fight, you know. And people are already saying on Twitter they want to see MMA match, so maybe we'll do that, and we'll just choose our own styles.
I think for you it's better to do boxing because you have the higher reach, you have longer
Yeah.
arms. But
Well, thank
this
you
is
for your
insane when
advice.
you think about it. Just think about the mainstream media covering this. They're going to be like, these Bitcoiners are fighting for a domain, like literally. Or the days of the medieval chivalry challenges are back.
Yeah, what's the name of like in Game of Thrones when they had the guy fight for the other guy? Like not an avatar, but something like this. I'm trying to act as Bitcoin's avatar, I guess.
I don't watch Game of Thrones, but
It's a medieval thing. There's some kind of term for when you choose a proxy fighter for you and to do a duel for you. And Bitcoin can't fight for itself, right? So I'll do it.
I know what that's called in Romanian, but not in English.
Yeah, what's it
So
in Romanian?
it's turnir.
Hmm.
It's like a tournament where you appoint somebody. It was used by noblemen in Middle Ages to appoint some kind of slaves they had to fight. But I
Dornier?
guess in the end, if it got really tense or really even, they would do it themselves, get on their horses and grab their swords and try to impress the damsel.
Mm-hmm.
This was
Well, we'll
usually
see.
about a girl, but in our case, it's about Bitcoin.com.
Yeah, much more important.
I don't know what to say. Good luck with this, and I'm actually curious to follow this. It's insane because I spoke to you before we settled to do this interview, and you told me that you do not want to be asked about your discussion and debate with Roger Ver from
Yeah, just because
November
it's so old, I've done it so
2017.
many times, and I think everybody's bored with it. But then on a whim, I put this up there. So I didn't expect him to actually respond. And we just put the tweet out right before we started this interview. So everybody's probably talking about it now, and we'll see what the fallout really is.
Oh, this is so going on YouTube immediately, and I'm gonna ask somebody to cover it and write a quick article. But
All right.
congratulations for managing to do this and actually making him accept. I mean, a guy can dream. You can challenge Roger Ver to anything, but he on Twitter he doesn't respond usually. It's
Mm.
like he either doesn't care or he only picks a few specific people that he cares about.
Yeah, he usually only interacts with people that are saying good things about Bitcoin Cash or his whatever other coin he's trying to shill at the time. So I've never gotten him to reply to me on Twitter. But I had an inside guy when Peter was interviewing him, and Peter relayed the message, so the message got through.
Yeah. Okay. I can only hope that this doesn't end in a bloody way and the
I
reputation.
figure even if I lose, he loses, right? Because he's like the bad guy, and I'm the Bitcoin
You're the
guy. So
martyr. Yeah.
even if I lose, at least I tried, and he's still Roger Ver, so whatever.
You'll be the real Bitcoin Jesus because you'll be the one getting beat up for a good cause.
Yeah, I'll take that title from him too.
So there's a bigger stake than actually the Bitcoin.com domain. It's about who is the Bitcoin Jesus.
Yeah, I guess so.
So you will upgrade from Johnny Bcash to Bitcoin Jesus.
Oh, I really don't want to be called Bitcoin Jesus, but it'll be good for people to stop
You
calling him
died
that.
for our sins. At least you got
Jesus.
beat up in jujitsu.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
And unlike the times of the Roman Empire, we actually have technology to record it and show it for the big Bitcoiners of the future will get interested
Yeah.
in this. This will go up there with all the crazy moments about finding Satoshi.
Hopefully, we make some history.
Right. This is history if you think about it.
Hmm.
Bitcoin.com, that's, I guess it's more important than Bitcoin.org because people, when they associate a certain business or a certain anything with a website,
Yeah, I
they
mean,
type in .com.
for as scammy as I think it is right now, he has certainly done a good job making sure it gets proper ranking and having tons of content and looking professional. So it's a really good deceiving mechanism, and I'd like to see that end.
So is there anything that you would like to add before we wrap this up and post
Nope,
it on?
I think we've said enough. The challenge is out there. I hope he doesn't turn this into some kind of annoying non-challenge that never happens. I hope we can figure out a good format that makes it us both have a fair chance. And I hope that me or the community can come up with a good stake for my end to make sure he actually puts it on the puts Bitcoin.com on the line.
Okay, thank you, John. And I'm happy that I had the exclusive rights to record this.
No problem, man. Thank you.
I'm going to make this big.
Go for it.
Oh, you go for it. It's easy for
All
me
right.
to just publish content. It's hard for you to actually fight for Bitcoin.com.
Do my best.
So I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you very much, and I look forward to see how this works out.